It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Jen Cohen as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. Great to have you in studio today. We're going to be talking elections with Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Your second trip to studio this year.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the November.
We are going full steam ahead.
Right, yeah. We were talking before that some folks asked Leslie, what do you guys do between elections? Because, I mean, it's just one election night, but she had a booklet of paper that's about yay thick with 40-some pages of things to do between one election to the next. Website for you, yavapai.us, real simple. Go to the Yavapai County website main page and all the election information right down the bottom right-hand corner of the screen on that. And you can get everything you need right there, and it takes you right to the recorder's office, elections, all that stuff is right there. Let's go back and look at the primary. We talk about it when we have you guys come in prior to the primaries.
Correct.
And talk about how important it is to participate in the primary election, because sometimes primaries, that's it.
Right. Especially your small cities, towns. That's it.
Yeah. So we had some council races, some mayoral races. Camp Verde's got a mayoral runoff, so that wasn't decided outright. But a lot of the council races are just over.
They are.
So if people wanted to wait till the general, it's probably not a very good idea to wait just for the general, is it?
No, it really isn't. We talk about that as much as we possibly can, how important it is to vote in the primary. And the primary, the people who are getting elected outright are the ones who touch it every day. Those are the ones, if you don't like how the roads look, you can walk into their office and talk to them. You know, so those are the ones that affect your day-to-day life.
These are your city and town people that are running your cities and towns.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
Is it? Do we have? I'm trying to remember back, because I remember election night used to be, I would be there till, and you would be there until, well, you are still there.
So, yeah, we're still
you're still there, but I don't have to, because the election results start to come in about 8 p.m.
Correct.
They start posting. And I remember there was a day where that didn't happen, and I would have to get you guys on the phone, and we would have to talk over and over and over again throughout the night. And that's been nice to have that kind of alleviated, where that doesn't happen anymore.
Yes.
Do we see more and more primaries these days voted outright? Is that something new, or has it been kind of the trend all the time? Because I can't really recall.
It's usually been the trend.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. How was primary turnout in Yavapai County? Because we always like to, tout ourselves.
Oh, we got to tout ourselves really big this year. Yeah, 47.7.
Wow.
I mean, when you look at that, you think, oh my gosh, that's so low. But considering statewide turnout was 33, I believe, was the statewide, and we were at 47. Yeah, we were very proud of our turnout.
That's
almost
pretty
48.
amazing.
It's really amazing. Yeah. We have great voters in Yavapai County.
And I know it's less than 50% of the people who could have voted.
Right.
That are now, is that 50% of the population or 50% of registered voters?
Of registered voters.
Okay, so half of our registered voters. Still, if you think about that, we should probably hit on that. Half of the registered voters within Yavapai County did not participate in the primary election.
Right. A lot of them just don't think it's, well, two reasons. One, they want to wait for the general because they figure that's the most important, which I have to disagree, because what we were just talking about with our smaller races. And second, our independents, that we still seem to have a hard time reaching out to let them know they can vote in the primary. They can vote in an August primary. They just need to let us know which ballot type they would like. If they're on the permanent early voter list, we send out a letter asking them to tell us which ballot they would like for us to send them, or they will be asked when they go in on election day. And that seems to still be a misconception out there with a lot of our independent or the no party preference.
I can see that. I can see that, because I think people who are voting think they're going to get a ballot with all the names on it. But that's not the case in a primary for statewide races.
Not in this state.
Right.
You might see that in other states.
Okay.
We've heard in other states they do, but it's because the states differ so much from state to state, it's so important to find out some of your basic election laws.
You and I were talking about that before the show too, and I kind
Yes.
of was wondering why things aren't just the same across the board, across state by state, but each state has something a little bit different
Right.
with their elections. And then we were even talking about, I was saying that most cities and towns is 50 plus 1%, you're voted out right in the primary. You said that's not necessarily the case either.
No.
Cities and towns can have different bylaws that change that as
Absolutely,
well.
absolutely.
So there's a lot of different things to take into account for. I guess if I'm voting for something in my own city or my own town, I should probably talk to my city clerk.
City clerk,
Town
exactly.
clerk.
Yes.
And find out exactly how our elections work.
Yes.
But you guys take care of the countywide races, and you handle the local elections too. But
Right.
do the cities and towns pay
Yes, they do.
the county to handle it, right?
They do. They
Okay.
pay cost.
Okay.
And Lynn Constable, our elections director, she puts together at the end of the election, when it's over, she bills, but she does it on a kind of a curve. The more on the ballot, the less each jurisdiction pays. So none of our cities or towns pay 100% of the cost of that election. It's spread out because that's the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And spread out by registered voter. So each city or town just pays their proportionate share.
Okay.
And it's just the cost.
Okay. All right. So yeah, check with your city and town clerk and find out what's going on in your own neck of the woods in
Please
terms
do.
of elections. Okay. And then with an independent or a non-party on our primaries, we have to decide if we want to vote a Democratic ballot, a Republican ballot, or green ballot.
Green, right.
So if, like, I'm an independent, so I would say, Leslie, I want this Republican candidate for this, so I would get a Republican ballot during the primary. Or if I want to
Correct.
go Democrat and I like this candidate better, then I would get this
You get
ballot
the whole-
instead.
yes.
But in the general election, which is coming up on November 6th, winner takes all.
Yep, we have the one ballot for all.
One ballot for
Everybody,
all.
yes. So anybody on the permanent early voter list gets one ballot. If you go into the vote center on election day, you get one ballot.
Lovely.
Cuts down our ballot styles. We had over 900 for the primary.
How did the primary go?
Great.
For you guys.
It went, for the most part, pretty flawless.
You had one delay.
We had
One delay.
One delay on
So
election
classic
night.
in Yavapai County too.
It was.
What
It
is the
was.
delay? What was the delay? Because I want to share that with everybody.
It was great. Our team coming back from Baghdad Vote Center that evening sent a picture in and sent it to Lynn and said, we're going to be a few minutes late. And it was a picture of two bulls in the middle of the road with their horns actually locked together in a fight. And our team was smart enough just to sit and wait until they argued their way off the side of the road before they could come in. So that was our big delay for election night. With getting those ballots in from Baghdad. They were delayed 15 minutes.
Only in Yavapai County could you be delayed by two bulls with locked horns.
Isn't that a wonderful
fighting
delay?
In the roadway.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great story, right?
Yeah, oh,
Will
yeah.
you ever forget that one?
No, and I
Election
shared
night.
as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, right, okay. All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we definitely want to talk about write-in candidates. We definitely want to talk about that because that's a bit of an issue and it's costing taxpayers money. Website again is yavapai.us. You can go there and find out everything about elections. Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman in studio today. Stick around, countywide, back in just a couple minutes.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
How I define making? In the broadest possible terms, it is making something extant in the world that didn't exist. Everybody who's ever made anything is bringing something into fruition for a reason, and that act in and of itself makes us stewards of our culture. It's something that we're talking about. It's a response. Actually, it's telling a story. That's really what it is. And I include everything that could be made. Painting, sculpture, welding, all of that.
Yellow is positive.
When a kid gets their hands on the world and learns that they can make their fantasy play, that they can make their reality, that's power. And as far as I'm concerned, everyone should feel that kind of power. There we go. If there's something that interests you to bring into the world, that's fantastic. Go figure out how to do it. Go tell your own story. There it is. And so I want to know why you make. Let's go.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Welcome back to Countywide. Leslie Hoffman, Yavapai County Recorder, in studio today. Yavapai.us is the website you want to remember. You've been hearing us talk in the news. Yes. Last day to register is October 9th, and that is, wow. I mean, this is the last week of September. See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're into fourth quarter, and
Correct.
then holidays, and everything else is going to be happening. So with all that going on, you should probably get this taken care of right away. Now, to register to vote, I can go to the county recorder's office.
Correct.
Register to vote there.
10 South 6th Street here, 1015 First Street, Prescott.
Boom, double whammy there. And then the other easy way to do it, and the easiest way to do it, is just to go to servicearizona.com.
Yes.
Register right there, and then you guys get notification of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, we're getting right now about average 130 to 150 a day, hits a day. Now, not necessarily all registrants, but people changing. Maybe they change name, they change party, they change their address. So about 70% of all of our updates and new registrants come through Service Arizona, because you can do it also up until 11:59 on the 9th.
Okay.
So if you don't make it into our office by 5, because a lot of people work the same hours we do, they can go to Service Arizona up until 11:59.
Okay, and I have to re-register if I change my name.
No, that's an update.
Okay, just re-register.
Yes.
Okay, if I change my name.
Change your name.
Change my address. If
Address
I move,
is the most important.
Address
Yes.
is the most important, because you got to know where to get the ballot to.
Correct. And get the right ballot.
Get the right ballot
That's,
too.
yeah. First is getting the right ballot.
Okay, so name change, change of address. You mentioned a couple more. Is there a couple?
Oh, there's a lot of things that you don't have to completely re-register. You can update your party.
Okay.
You can update like contact information. We have a lot of people who do that, because we're really encouraging contact information. Because we have a new program that I didn't get to tell you about. That it's a text program. So 76.1% of our voters are on our permanent early voter list, which is fantastic for our taxpayers especially.
Sure.
So it really saves your ballot early. But inevitably we have a lot of ballots that come in, people who forgot to sign their affidavit envelope. Or, honey, I'm on my way out the door, I'm running late, just sign that and send it in. Can't do that. So we have a new text program. If you have your cell phone, and we say, there's a problem with your affidavit envelope, please contact our office. We've gotten a huge response from that. And if you don't want that to be in your regular published record, because we do have to provide reports to the parties, just let us know. It goes into the notes section. But it has saved so much time to get a hold of our voters, especially when it's really close to the election. We don't have time to mail.
Okay.
And so we'll call, we email if we have an email, but our new text program has really taken off.
Yeah,
really
people like that.
And people look at their text messages before they look at their emails, before they look at their mail.
Right.
They look at those text messages. So
Our
that's
phone's right in front of our face all day long. It's right there.
Right.
Right.
It's great. It's great. Then we have a new Temple Way. That's something else we hadn't talked about. That's
Temple
new.
Way?
Temple Way. People are temporarily away.
Oh.
They can, yes, they can let us know. I'm going to be at my son's house in Utah on election day. Please send me the ballot to this address. Or we send notices out, and they come back from the post office saying temporarily away. Well, we don't get those addresses. So we send a letter to those people that is forwardable saying, please let us know what your temp away address is. The post office has notified us. And then we send out email, a letter, a text if we've got it, saying, we understand that you have a temporary address. If it's going to be for this election, or you can say, I want it for the next 3 elections. And we have an app now. You can go onto our Tempaway app, or you can email to us, you can call us, so that, again, we're sure to get you the ballot at the right address, because election mail isn't forwarded. Oh, wow. So if it goes to your address and you are off, with the new grandbaby, you're not going to get your ballot, but you can still get it when you're out of town.
Look at that.
Yeah.
All this convenience.
A couple of new programs.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
Well, that's really great.
They're great response.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Convenience. We're all about convenience. Are we not?
For our voters and for us in the office.
Yeah.
That's how we can continue to grow and not have to put on so many, so much staff. Is we have some extremely great people on the technology side who've been able to come up with new programs like that.
That's really great.
Yes.
Right. We wanted to make sure we talked about write-in candidates.
Yes.
Now, you and Lynn have in the past have said that it's, it costs taxpayer money.
A lot of money.
When you write in Donald Duck on a ballot for a candidate. And you sent me a couple of pictures. We're going to have those come up on screen, but I'll try to talk about what it is. And one is a stack of paper that's probably 2-3 feet high, it looks like almost.
Yes.
And then the second picture is after you've gone through all the write-in ballots and verified which ones are good, which ones are not good, and you're left with a stack about 6 inches tall.
Correct.
So what is it about write-in ballots that, write-in candidates that are such a bad thing?
Well, you can't just write in anybody. If someone goes out, collects signatures on their petitions, and they meet the deadline with the filing office, then their name is printed on the ballot. But for those who miss that deadline, they can still be a write-in candidate, but they have to be a qualified write-in. You still have to go to your filing office, whether it be a school, a city or town, or my office, and fill out paperwork to be a write-in candidate. So you'd be a qualified write-in. So anybody that's written in other than that qualified write-in does not count. And we get a lot of that. This year we had over 3,000 ballots. And out of those 3,000 ballots, there were over 11,000 write-ins, and 900 that counted.
Wow, 11,900 counted.
Correct.
And now, you broke that down pretty simple right there, but somebody's got to go through that ballot by ballot, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's not like a machine looks at that and says, oh no, this is no good, this is no good. There's no machine that does that.
No, it shows our tabulators, if there's a bubble and the write-in, it tabulates all the rest of the races that have the candidates written on the ballot. And it goes ahead and tabulates those, but then it says, okay, this ballot has a write-in candidate. But it doesn't know who the candidate is or what it says. So that is pulled and set aside for a team to look at. And we put in 142.5 man-hours going through all those ballots.
So people say, well, that didn't cost me anything. Well, yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah,
because my taxes pay your salary. So, and whoever you've got working there, it's also paying their salary too. So we could knock that out.
And it's weekends that we do those.
Right. It boils down to the same thing that we've talked about with you and Lynn in the past too, is that when I receive my ballot in the mail, if I take a second to go drop it off in person at one of the special election boxes, or at the county election office, drive up and they've got the white box election box right outside, you just drive up, roll your window down like you're going through a drive-through, drop it in there. Now I'm saving money as well because I don't have to mail it back, and that's not going to cost you guys additional funds that way, which of course costs me additional funds because I'm the one who's paying the taxes to have you mail it to me and then mail it back.
Right. And we get a discount going out, but we pay a lot more going back. Right now, we found out that the post office has specials. I don't know if we've talked about that before.
Specials, okay.
They do. I call them their blue light specials. It's great. Lauren, the Registrar of Voters, found that out when she first came to us about 3 years ago. Oh. And right now, we're doing a special. And we pay to be a part of this special. And so right now, we have broke even. And they're for a certain segment of time.
Gotcha.
And it went from just before the primary to the last day to receive ballot by mail. Okay. So we have paid a certain amount. We have broke even. So now for all these 136,000 ballots that are going to go out now, we'll get a discount on those coming back. It's for the return mail, 5 cents off.
Oh, wow.
And so that will then be just that. It'll be the savings.
Okay.
And we do that, and then our drop boxes, of course, it doesn't cost anything but our teams going through. And this last election, we actually had some of our staff in our Cottonwood office help do those pickups.
Okay.
So it wasn't paying extra people. They just went out and helped here locally, and it worked out wonderfully.
It's kind of like having your utility bill where you pay the same amount every month instead of a different bill every month up and down. So you've got your deal going on with the post office. That's amazing.
Yeah.
We'll have to take our second break.
Okay.
All right. Leslie Hoffman, Yavapai County Recorder, in studio today. The website is yavapai.us. Stick around. Countywide back in just a couple minutes.
Give me the
appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a few minutes left of the program. Yavapai County Recorder Leslie Hoffman in studio. Lynn Constable, our elections director, could not be with us today, but we think of Lynn. We love Lynn.
Absolutely.
Last day to register to vote?
October 9th.
October 9th. Again, we mentioned that's just around the corner. Take care of it now. You can go to the county offices, the county annex buildings in Cottonwood or in Prescott, and you can do it there in person, or you can go to servicearizona.com and do it right through there. Easy peasy.
Yes.
Early voting.
Early voting.
Right after that.
Absolutely. Starts the next day.
The 10th.
So, yes. And that's for every election. You can go 27 days prior to any election in Yavapai County, in the state. You can go into our offices and vote early in person. Again, if you're we talked earlier about being away. Well, if you're going to be away and you don't want to worry about the mail getting to you, come into our office 27 days prior and you can vote early in person.
You guys have a little voting booth set up and stuff?
Absolutely.
Right there.
We have touch screens, we have voting booths, and then we have our ballot on demand printers, and we print out the ballot that you're qualified to vote on right there when you're there.
Then you don't have to use that app. I just come down and vote, get that taken care of, and out the door.
And then you're gone.
Then you're gone. You can do wherever you want to go. You can go.
Right.
Yeah, don't have to worry about getting a ballot then. All right. Right. Oh, you had something really quick. Anything about military voting that we needed to hit on real quick?
Absolutely. Our UOCAVA voters is for our uniformed and overseas voters.
Okay.
Excuse me. It was a federal law passed many years ago, and those ballots actually go out by fax, email, or mail.
Okay.
We do, and when we send them by mail, we always send them by overnight, especially if they're going overseas. But most of our people now use fax. We've got over 300, and if you're military, you can get your ballot whether you're stateside or abroad, 45 days before the election, or if you're just a citizen working overseas or you're on an extended vacation, or a student. Chief Deputy Karen McCracken's daughter had a scholarship to Germany for a whole year, did an internship over there right after high school. She voted the whole time. She voted as a UOCAVA. You just go through the federal voter registration application, FVAP, so it's called. Go through there, FVAP. Everything's an acronym in the government.
Right, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And then you can register to be a UOCAVA voter.
Okay.
And so those ballots go out on the 22nd. Those will be going out right away. So that's part of that. What are you doing when there's not an election? Well, we have to start getting our candidates, our ballot language and everything so that they can be programmed to the printers and back, so that we can get them out to our UOCAVA voters.
And I talked to Lynn recently, did a story with her after the primary, and she was talking about all the tabulation that has to go on between now and the general as well, because the machines don't just set themselves up with the candidate names and everything else that goes on. So
lots of testing. All the machines are tested, and every ballot style is tested, which is over 900 ballots for just the primary.
Wow. Okay, so November 6th is the election.
Yes.
Polls will open at 6 a.m.
Yes.
Vote centers in Yavapai
Vote
County.
centers. Vote anywhere you
We don't
want.
call them polls in Yavapai County. No, Coconino County still has, they have some vote centers and some polling places.
Right.
But Yavapai County has vote centers. If you don't know what that means you can go to any what was a polling place. You can go to any one of them and vote. If you're in Cottonwood, you work in Sedona, and you happen to be in Sedona for the day, go to one of those polling places,
right.
vote center, and vote there. You don't have to go to the one that's on your card. It used to be the way it used to be, and it's not
right.
the way. We're out of time.
We're out of time.
Happy Halloween. Happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll be talking to you before then, but I won't have you on the show until then.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thank you.
All right, that's today's Countywide. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you again next time.